part.
Coming back to the 48 hours.
Yes, well, once everything is okay, the cosmonauts can take off their spacesuits, which is very welcome, can use the toilet, very welcome as well, can eat something, and of course there's constant radio contact with the ground, and more important even, in the meantime the ballistic teams on the ground are calculating where the Soyuz is exactly, distance from the space station, and then they send up all the information that is needed for the burning of the engine. So, of course, they have to sleep as well. They slept 9 hours. I'm impressed that they had such a good sleep. And so they eat a bit, they have radio contact, they talk a bit with the family even. And then the big work starts again, because you have to start the engines for the big maneuvers. And
the big maneuvers are the ones where you really gain in height, where you raise the orbit.
Absolutely, because the first orbit is only at 200 kilometers, a bit more, and the station is a lot higher. So you need 2 big burns to get to the other orbit. And once you are in that orbit, of course, you change the position of the Soyuz. Normally you are then oriented towards the Earth, but say at 190 kilometers distance, you change, and that means that the Soyuz is then pointing towards the station. So the Earth doesn't exist anymore for the Soyuz, it's only the station. So with radar, the position of the station is checked. So you have a prognosis, the computer got all the information from the ground, and so there it should be. And with the radar information, you correct this prognosis. Okay, at the moment we have the space station over China, over the coast from China, and going out of the area where we have ground coverage. And also getting into the night part of the Earth, so in the shadow part, which means that they have to activate a big searchlight in order to have good views, of course. So at the distance of about 47 meters, one of the big antennas that is sticking out a bit is folded up. It's no longer needed. It's an important one, of course, otherwise you would damage the antenna. And then you have to wait for permission from the ground. Everything's stable and steady, and then they can slowly approach the docking port. Speed is of course important. If you go too fast, you damage things. If you go too slow, then the sensors might not react. So the speed is pretty critical. It's reduced a bit, the maximum speed, and it's now 15 centimeters per second, which is the maximum speed that, to dock without danger.
Maybe, as far as my Russian is not that good, could you just explain on the screen where, for example, there is the velocity?
Yeah, so down on the left you see both velocity and distance, and we see down 0.220. That is the present speed, and that will reduce. At least for manual docking, we always learned to stay below 15. And on top of that you see the range. And what is it? Something like 20. I cannot see it properly from here, but something like 27 meters. And so slowly approaching. And on the other side, you have also the information on the right side, which is information. Here, what you see here is that we get into the shadow part of the Earth. So all of a sudden, it goes very fast. That you pass the day-night border, Terminator, as it's called. And so now the crew for visual cues is depending on the searchlight. For the automatic docking, it doesn't matter. So on the right side you see the Kurs, it says in Russian, which is the radar system, and there you also have all the calculations, of course, what the radar system is made. So you have information on the prognosis and you have information on the radar. So, and that should be the same. And you see in the bottom, which is very important, you see a little A and then NET behind it, which means avaria net, so there's no emergencies. And on the right side you see instructie net, so that means that everything is going nominal. So they don't have any indication of failing equipment. On the left, in the left corner, you see Prichalivania, and that means this is the mode where they're in, which is the birthing mode. So you see this letter C, and this is a calculation. This is very important to have a 1 in the first place, for example. So these are very important information for the commander to know that the computer is working properly.
So how far are we now away from space station?
It's 40 meters away, and so what you see is you see a target on the bottom, which is some kind of rectangular, some kind of two crosses which have to be in the middle. Now, like I said before, the view we see here is the view from the camera. The crew sees another view in which the crosses are aligned with each other, and they can, if they take over, and have to do it manually, which is not the case in this case. Okay, so we're getting close.
And actually, if we look on the big screen, then we can see that docking will take place, what is it, north of Japan, south of Japan?
Yes, that's correct, over the sea there. There we go. Okay, contact.
And as you can see, the control center is full. People are applauding. That's a big step for this mission.